of comedians. Whoa, that's not even that word. We got lots of comedians coming up for your enjoyment tonight. Please give a big welcome to the first comedian, Eric Sater, everybody. Let him hear it.
Thank you very much. You gotta respect a preschool teacher who competes with his students for who can get hired. So my name is Eric. I'm going to be your clean comic for the night. I'm not going to talk about drug use, and I've started taking drugs to joke about it, and I have no time for a new hobby. I'm also not going to talk about sex, no hardcore sex here. You don't want to know about my sex life. My sex life, I'll tell you then. My sex life is like my comedy. It lasts like 3 to 5 minutes. I usually bomb, and when I'm done, I barely earn enough money for gas. Thank you, I think. I just had my annual physical, and my doctor's a little eccentric. So I never know what I'm going to expect. So this year, he stuck some objects in my mouth, his fingers up my ass, tangled my testicles, and all that before the advertisers came. And every year he asks me about any questions, like, Doc, next year can we do this in your office? Because I'm not a big fan of Chili's. I was shopping for my wife's birthday present, and I was so excited. So excited because I thought I came up with a brand new word that no one's ever heard of. So I was looking for women's pajamas. And for whatever reason, people in the store seemed a little, I don't know, that did not know how to handle a man asking where the women's pajamas are. I mean, I'm not going to wear them, I'm going to buy them. So I thought, you know what, instead of women's pajamas, what if I called them vajamas? I was so excited, I created a new word. So I Googled it, and you know what, sure enough, it is a word. It's on Urban Dictionary. And if you've ever been on Urban Dictionary, you know you should never be on Urban Dictionary. Because basically what it means, apparently, is pajamas is when a man is so tired or so drunk that he falls asleep after sex while still inside his female partner. Yeah. Now let's put that in a sentence according to Urban Dictionary. Last night I was so trashed I fell asleep in my pajamas. I mean, how does that happen? Does nobody roll over that after sex looking for cigarettes anymore? I don't know. I also reached a medical milestone recently, and most of you, well, some of you will know exactly what I'm talking about. I just had my first colonoscopy. Yeah, some of you know. I'm not going to bore you with the gross details of the prep, but the procedure was pretty easy. I was surprised. They brought me back, made me wear a gown that exposed my whole backside, right? Knocked me out with anesthesia. While I was knocked out, they probed me anally. And when I woke up, I was a little sore, but I had no recollection of anything that had happened. For some of you, that's just a Saturday night at and I got my insurance to pay for it. You're doing it for drinks. But I have to say, though, I'm really proud of my colonoscopy because I read the doctor's report. And he wrote, patient's response to the procedure was excellent. Yeah, that was my response. I was knocked out with anesthesia, so how could I be anything but excellent? But that's the best Yelp review I'm ever going to get, so and I want to know, I want to meet the people who didn't get an excellent report. What did they do? But I will say, this is a little too much information, but the day after, my ass hurt so badly, I needed to do something. So I hopped on Google, and you know how Google tries to anticipate what you're looking for, right? It fills in the blanks. So all I did was type in how to treat sore anus after A, and the first hit was a massage. A massage. I don't know what kind of massages y'all do. But if my ass hurts after a massage, I'm reporting that to Law and Order SVU. And putting on a pair of comfy pajamas. I'm kidding, I don't wear pajamas. I've been traveling some for work, so I've been in airports, different cities, and you see a lot of things, right? I don't know if you've flown recently, but it seems like in every airport, everyone has an emotional support dog. And there were so many emotional support dogs that made me nervous to fly. I'm not sure that's how it works. On one of my flights, there's a man sitting across the aisle from me, and he was holding his little girl. And at one point, we made eye contact, he smiled at me, and he said, "Holding my daughter is the best sensation I've ever had. Poor guy's never had an orgasm." Another flight, a woman was sitting next to me. 5 minutes into the flight, she starts complaining about how hot it was. So I just said, maybe it's menopause. You don't say that to a woman when you're 20,000 feet in the sky and you've got 2.5 hours left. Not good. So one of the places I flew to was Orlando. And I know I'm going to upset people. I hate Orlando. In part because most people are flying to Disney World. And now I'll upset more people. I hate Disney World. Because most of the people on the plane, they're looking for the magic of Disney, right? The magic of Disney. And I've been to Disney World, and the only magic I saw was how fast my money and patience disappeared. That was magic. Also, everything's so expensive. Has anyone been to Disney World? Yeah. So, it's so expensive. Did you know that if you want to have breakfast with princesses, you have to pay extra? Yeah, what? Exactly. And I don't know about you, but if I want to have breakfast with princesses, I'll hang out with my brother and his guy friends. You've never met them, but they are princesses with really dark pasts. I also went to visit my parents. My parents are older, they're Jewish, so that's their promised land, Florida. And they live in an active over 55 community called the Villages. Anyone ever been to the Villages? Okay, that's the response I was hoping for. So the Villages is an active over 55 community, and by active, you know what I mean, sexually transmitted diseases. That's not what we really thought it was. And I don't know about you, but the idea of old people having sex is just, ugh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to hear an old lady tell me she's coming unless she's heading my way with some cookies. And not the gluten-free type either. But my parents love that place. They have activities for everyone, and everything's adapted for old people. So, for example, you want to do yoga, right? You can stand, you can sit, down to a facing dog, almost dead dog. It's all right. Something for everyone. So I think I feel comfortable here. I think it's time for me to tell one of my secrets. I am a huge Cardi B fan. Anyone else in the room? Cardi B? Cardi B? Do you know who Cardi B is? I'll go back to the last No, Cardi, I sing her songs in my head all the time, which is probably best if the songs stay in my head, right? Because if there's one person who should never be caught singing her songs out loud, it's probably me. But I don't quite fit her typical fan demographic. Older, white, Jewish. And I often think, like, can you imagine if I'm in the supermarket and I'm singing her songs and someone wants to know what I said? I'll just look at the eyes and say, I said, my face bomb, ass tight, rack second shack, tight jewelry on the flashlight, I did this last night, hit him with that. Okay, I gotta stop right there. What's that? I thought I was. And I have to tell you, I have no idea what any of that means. Just that broke boys don't serve no pussy, I know that's right. Oh, boy. So, I mentioned that I'm Jewish, and half of you probably can tell, right? I saw someone who looks like I'll bring him up here. And the other half of you are probably thinking, is that what Jews look like? And this is what we look like. You should see what we look like when we're leaving temple very quickly. Yeah, I'm sure you're very nice. But it's not like I can hide, right? I've got this big Jewish nose. I talk in a sing-song voice. I talk as if everything's a question. And that wasn't a question. And that used to drive my teachers nuts when I was younger. They'd say, Eric, are you asking me or are you telling me? And I'd say, I'm telling you? But yeah, no, but being, I'm a proud Jew though, and I think what would be hard would be to be Catholic. Any Catholics in the house? You're just too embarrassed to say, hey, that's fine. That's okay. If I get this right, you all have to, but Catholics have to do confession. And if I understand that correctly, I have to confess my deepest, darkest sins to a man who wears a long, flowy robe and who hangs out in dimly lit closets. I don't think I'm the one who needs to confess in that situation. But worst of all, for me, would be sitting in church looking at Jesus on the cross. That would make me very sad. So sad that his abs are way more developed than mine. Right? Mark my words, that's going to be the new exercise craze. And I can see it now. I lost 75% of my body just hanging on the cross. Results not typical, and they vary. And you know what I'm going to call that? CrossFit. Thanks so much for listening. I'm Eric Snader.